I can't figure out. Why am I seeing her?
Okay.
You're seeing whatever is pushed up there.
I know, but how do you see her here?
I would go down.
Hello, the instructor, she's not in yet.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine. Hi.
there
Oh,
she is.
There she is.
Here I am.
Exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me know if there's too much of an echo. And you can see the image that we're doing today. But for some reason it freezes. Let's see if I can do something else. We have 5 minutes still. Thank you for being here and for being here early. Here we go. All right. Now we are on live. Very good. This is so exciting. And let me face the camera towards me. I'm upside down right now. Let's see if I can fix it. So that's the image that we're making right now. Oops. You see the image? Oops. There we go. How can I be right-sided? Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We have 3 more minutes, so I can figure this out. That's my dog in the background. All right. Chichi. All right. Well, for those of us who are joining us, thank you for being here. Let me stop sharing there and see if you can see me right side up.
Hi, Habibi.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, like give it a fusion. Okay, that's good. That's good, Habibi. Very good. Thanks, Habibi. Yalla. Yeah, I keep. Thank you, Habibi. Thanks. Bye.
Can you see me?
Hi, Alex.
Hello.
All right. You have your pen and paper. You have your pencil, paper.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. We're waiting for Richard, Angela, and the rest.
Perfect. Oh, good. We're on live. We have 1 more minute. Okay, so while we're waiting for people to log in, I think we can briefly go around. Some of us are joining us for the first time, so welcome. Let's see if I can bring up the video of who's with us. We have Alex, Nada, Carol, Patsy, Jules, Nahid, Michelle. Welcome. And I'm going to put some light music in the background for us. And here we go. Go to Google Play. So you all can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Let me put some light music first. Oh, some light, relaxing guitar music. Can you hear it?
You know.
How about now? All right, so can you see the screen with the boots on the left-hand side?
Yes.
And the blank screen. So some of us have access to Canvas, which is our Mount SAC platform where we have the lessons for every week. If you need help with that, let me know after the class and I can help you with accessing Canvas. Is the music too loud?
Yeah. Can you turn it down?
Oh, not really.
Okay, let me put the music down.
Really? A little bit.
All right, it should be better there. Is that better now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's get to it. This is the beautiful drawing we will be making. I create our drawings. Well, now moving forward, I'm creating our drawings for us. Every other week, we have a live Zoom session for 2 hours. And the topics are based on what you want to draw. At the end of the semester, I ask everyone, what would you like to draw? What would you like to create? And boots was a topic that was chosen from our previous class. Okay, so let's get started. I asked that you bring out a 5B pencil, but if you don't have that, that's okay. You can still use whatever pencil you have on hand and an eraser. I have a white eraser here. I also have
A pencil.
a clay eraser or a kneaded eraser. Well, I had it, but it seems to be somewhere else. That's okay. We can continue. We also have Q-tips that we will be using and tissue paper. So I'm going to bring out that tissue paper and let me run and grab the Q-tips. Okay, so the Q-tips helps us with shading smaller areas, or if you have those rolled up pieces of paper, tortellinis, then you can use that as well. Okay, so the first step to drawing is getting the main idea or the big picture first. Get the big picture first. of the boot. Okay, so we have to visualize. We have to visualize the boots. So I'm going to think of an outline of the boots first, and that's what we're going to create. Okay, so I also, sorry, stop, Shinshi. I also have taped down the paper for us. That gives me a nice border. So if in the next lesson you want to tape down your paper, feel free to do so. If not, then you can go ahead and have more freedom with your paper. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to bring the computer over. And I'm going to start with the outline of the boots.
Oh, don't try anything. Don't tell us. Don't try it. Don't try it.
And if there's too much background noise, be sure to mute yourself so that we don't get all the background noise. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So first steps first, the large picture of the boots. I like to start from the top and work my way down. So here we go. And it's just a rough sketch. I'm going to be playing with the lighting. Hold on. There we go. That's better. And notice that on the boots here, we need to add a shadow. We'll add that shadow later. So we're not going for perfection. We're going for what feels right now. Later on, we'll add more details. I'm going with the idea of the boots first. Here we go. Did you all get the email with the boots?
Yes.
Oh, good. So I'm just doing the outline of the boot. And I'm still figuring out my technology. There seems to be a bit of an echo. There's the line of the drape in the back. So that can help us kind of get a guide. Here we go. Drawing the left boot. I'm erasing and adjusting as I need to. And here's the back of the boot. See a little bit of the back of the boot. There we go. All right. Here we go.
Is Philip there?
Who?
Philip, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Philip's there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I need to widen this a little bit more. Make sure to have your sharpener also on hand.
What are we drawing, Jasmine?
You see the boot on the left hand side?
Love it.
Oh, okay, you're drawing the boot.
Yeah, you see it? Okay, good.
Yes, now I saw
That is what we're drawing. For some reason, there seems to be a little dot right here, but we'll work around it. I'm just happy that the camera is working. I had to order a cable for us. And it came like an hour ago, and here we are. Okay. And then I'm going to just make the rough outline of the inside. Oh, can you see my mouse? The mouse. So I'm going to make the inside of the left boot. Inside of the left boot first. Here we go. So it's all going to come together. Just be patient with yourselves. It'll all come together. And then the front of the boot. So something to keep in mind when you're drawing is to look at the image 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time you sketch or draw with your pencil. So right now we're doing a rough sketch freely, no pressure. And then I'll be going in to do the shoelaces shortly, but I want to work on the other side on this boot. Because again, if we get the main idea or the big picture first, it's a lot more easier later on when we add the detail. And then up here I have 1, 2, 3 open circles. 1, 2, 3 open circles. And then the fourth one has the shoelace. So we're drawing what we see, right? And then the fifth one, right around there. Is the other shoelace. The sixth one. Here. And then it kind of closes in. I'm going to make sure that I capture that. There we go. Adding more shoelaces. And they're very tight. They appear to be very tight. So we'll see how we add the shoelaces and tighten them up as we go down the boot. Notice that? This one is very tight. Okay, so I have those shoelaces and I'm working on the front of the boot. And then there seems to be a small flap right around here. Here, let me move the mouse. There we go. Okay, so adding more of the lines in front of the boot. And that's very close to the end of the image.
Nico.
And then the bottom here. And again, I created this image and I found a beautiful drape in the background. So it's not exactly 100% true to life. We need to add the shadows down here, like I said. But we work with what we have. So I'm adding the sole of the shoes. These are old, worn out shoes, and you can see how they've folded up. The bottom of the shoes have folded up because of all the use that they've had. All right, let's continue there. So, again, we're getting the big idea first, and then we can move up to this boot. I'm going to add, we have some background noise. Okay, good. Okay, now I'm going to add 3 openings. 1, 2, 3. And there are 3 openings on this side. 1, 2. Oops, a little lower.
I can't go.
And 3. And then let's add, oops, somehow we got a pencil. Let me undo that. Can I undo that? Control Z. Interesting. So we're still trying to figure this out. So now let's continue and add the shoelaces. There's a shoelace on the back first. So we're working from top to bottom. And if it doesn't feel quite right now, because I think I need to move this line a little bit over. Yeah, that's what I need to do. This section is thinner than what I originally had. There we go. So we have the shoelace here. Move the shoelace down. 1, 2, 3. Okay, put that shoelace in here. It's a little tricky, right? Your eyes will play tricks on you. Just gotta keep going. Keep going. It'll turn out great. We have another hour and a half together, so we'll make really good progress. I promise. Here we go. Let's add the other shoelace. And then just the idea of the shoelace right there. So now we should be around halfway down our boot. And I feel like I should bring this in a little more. So So we're sketching lightly. Bring that in a little more. Erase that. There we go. Later on, we're going to differentiate between the shoelaces that are in front and the shoelaces that are back. Let's keep going. And again, it seems like the shoelaces are getting tighter as they move towards the front of the boot. So there we go. And then there's one more right about here. Okay. And then we have these two darker areas. So I'm going to bring up the contrast, which will help me guide my way through the boot. And I'm going to work on the front of the boot as well as the sole. So we have grooves on the bottom. So it's up to you if you want to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little grooves on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There seems to be a triangle, or it almost looks like a letter A right here. I'm going to add that. A is almost like a seed-like shape at the bottom of the sole. And here we have half a circle. So what I like to do is to break things down in ways that my mind can see what I'm drawing. Here we have darker, almost like frisbee, no, not frisbee, boomerang shapes. There we go. So I'm going to add those boomerang shapes. So with our step-by-step lessons, we, again, break it down one thing at a time, and that makes the task easier, hopefully. Oh, there it goes. All right, so next I'm going to move on to the lines on the bottom of the floor here. So we have diagonal lines that come out this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if I can bring it up slightly so you all can see it. And 5. So we're noticing that they're not straight lines. They're sketched out because they seem to be part
Yes,
of
it worked.
the wooded floor. like that. Okay. And then notice it might be a bit too wide again. It's okay.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Nori.
Let's see. I'm going to now add the texture or the wrinkles, if you will, of the boot. Oops. Do you know why I got that? Let's see if I can erase it. Erase.
Are you drawing it?
Yep, we are drawing it together.
Yeah.
Oops. We bring our image back in. Oops, open. There it is, it came back. Okay, and I'm going to continue. There is more white space or blank space, so I can bring that line just slightly. And I'm going to add some of the wrinkles and the blues. Look how dark it is in this area. And I'll come back to this. This needs a little help. For now, I want to add the lines on the drapes.
I want to add
Here we go.
I need more. What a big one.
Some background noise. Angela, I'm going to put you on mute so you can unmute yourself. There we go. That helps with the background noise. It's all good. All right. So now we're going to add more of the folded drapes in the background. There we go.
Killed it down. Never give way.
All right. There we go. So for these folded drapes, you'll notice shapes like a Y. There's a Y that goes out here. And then there's a little bit of a folded drape in the back, and then a backwards Y up here. Now very lightly and gently is how he's sketching that out. Oh, and I see what I'm missing. So I have the front of the boot, but then I have to add the tongue of the boot.
No.
Is right over here. And the back of the boot. So this goes in a bit more. And this can go up higher slightly. There we go. Now I'm going to erase it using my white eraser. There it goes. It's coming along. Not bad. We've been doing this for the last 30 minutes. And I received a text from someone saying, can you send me the link? I can't find it. Let me send her the link so she can join us. Let me see. One moment. take a little stretch break. We've been doing very well. Stretch, drink water, breathe. Remember to breathe. Let me see what I sent. There we go. And I'm going to check in on us. All right, going to take a minute to help us catch up. Let's see if I can see us. I'm going to show the video again. There we go. Oh, look. How does that happen? Let's undo that. And erase those. I don't know what happened. Okay. Let's erase those. Gone and gone. And then let's erase that too. Okay, and then I'm going to bring the image back in. All right, how are you all doing?
Good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Do we all have the basic outline of our boots?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. In a little bit, we're going to be doing the shading. Before we do that, though, I think we're going to work on the threading. That takes some attention because there's the threading of the boots here. See that? I just want us to have a guide for the threading. Make sure we have the outline. Here we go. I'm going to hide ourselves. Can you see yourselves, the video of yourselves here? Or you don't see that?
No, I don't see the boots now either.
Yeah, I don't see the boots.
Yes.
I do.
Do you see
I
the
see
boot now?
people's faces over the boots. Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Okay, good. I just wanted to see what you see. All right, let's continue then.
Something.
I'm going to add the threading of the boots. Here we go. Right around here. So there seems to be two lines of threading. It goes down. And it's just the idea of it, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Because later on we'll get back to it. Or we'll actually shade around the threading. Notice how these threads are lighter than the color of the leather around the boots. And this seems to be going out a bit more. There we go. That's a better shape.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to the threading now. then there's some threading on this side. Oh, and there's some threading on the, almost at the end of this line. So here we go, I'm going to add my threading. And it seems to be 2 lines of thread. Here we have another line. Oh, and then I think what I could have done is I could have brought this in a bit more. Oh, I don't know where that is coming from. Okay. Make sure to erase that. All right. So it's still not too late. I can still bring this out a little bit more. There it goes. That's better. And then I can add a line. There's a line right up here. See that one? Right in there. That'll be the back of the boot, or the inside of the boot. And then I'm going to continue with the threading. Go down. So I'm making short gashes. And I'm going back to this because I wanted to. Okay, so let's continue. Short dashes. And some more short dashes. All right. Strange shapes that show up in the middle of our screen for some reason. Okay, let's continue. All right, so how are we doing with the threading? Good. I hope you're doing well. I know I've muted some of us. And add the threading here. 1 and 2. There it is. And now what I would like to do is add the wrinkles on our boots. That will help give our boots character. Here we go. And the next part of the lesson is adding the contrast. But first, I'll add the wrinkles on my boots. And then I'll add the contrast shortly. So here are my wrinkles. Some wrinkles there. Some folds. Some wrinkles here. Let me see. I really want to get those lines done right. Because see those lines right there? That's really going to differentiate or give my drawing some more realism. If I can get those outlines correctly. There we go. Okay. Moving along. Okay, now I'm going to try to get those folds on this boot. Here we go. Kind of tricky. So, I'm going to be brave.
It's not much of a boost, so
The darker tones. Here they go.
at one time.
Here we go. Right. So
Me too. Hard.
my napkin. I'm going to use my napkin and just blend it slightly in there, just to give me an idea of what I'm going to, how dark. Actually. All right. So it's coming along. So as I'm blending it, what I'm trying to do is smooth out those pencil lines. So I'm trying to smooth out the pencil lines. Then I notice that I have to go darker up here and lighter as I go down on the boot. So I'm going to switch over to a darker pencil. I'm going to go with my darkest pencil. It's a 8B. If you don't have these pencils, what you'll do is you'll simply add more pressure. Let's say you're using a 2HB pencil. That's fine. Just add a little more pressure. I have to, what's neat about using these pencils with different levels of lead is that you don't have to work so hard. So here I'm using my 8B, pencil, and then I'm going to shade in the darker tones. This part's really fun.
Got it.
Here we go. So what I'm doing is I'm using the side of my pencil and shading it
Other
in.
part of that was easy.
Let's see.
Watching it, I think that would be better.
Shading it in. Oh, I have to make sure that I get the outside of the, I think they're called eyelets. Let me draw those in before I go in fully with my pencil.
Right.
I'm going to do the outside of the eyelets. See, I haven't done so already.
Get the
Outside of the eyelid. Outside of the eyelid. There we go. Outside of the eyelid.
It's got a sort of, not very sorry.
Some background.
I'm an artist because I don't want to be.
Some
Could be maybe.
background. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, now that I have those eyelets completed, I'll go back in and shade in the boot, which will help bring up the contrast. But I also have to be mindful that there's a highlight right around here on this end. I'll just keep that in mind, but I can continue shading. I can pull out the highlight later on. And I'm going to have fun with the shading. This is my favorite part. Because it helps me focus on the here and now. I'm just thinking about how I'm shading. Later on, we'll talk about how we can add texture to the boot. It look like leather. But for now, I'm just bringing up the contrast and darkening. Here we go. Woohoo! There it goes. Oh, and it's really dark at the bottom of the sole of the boot. You notice how dark that is?
Yeah.
And the inside of the boot is also quite dark. I'm going to add some more shading. Right on top of the shoelaces. Okay. And right below front of the boot. And the sole of the boot is also quite dark. I can go back in there and add the grooves. We have 1, 2,
Okay.
3. On that side. And another 1, 2. Grooves here. And I'm going to go over the sole and darken that area, just like so. Okay. Now I'm going to use my tissue paper and blend that in. Notice the difference. See how different that is? And how it makes it a bit more realistic. There we go. And in there, maybe I can switch over to a Q-tip for smaller areas here. And I can even use the graphite or the pencil, the lead that's on my Q-tip to add the area's tone.
Yeah.
Right there. And later on, I'm going to add another layer to darken it up a bit more. Coming along then. How is yours coming along? You can unmute
Not
yourself.
as good as yours. So let me see, Richard, yours. Hold on.
We're all going at our own pace.
Richard.
And let's see. Where did you all go? I thought I put your images down here.
Oh, I see Richard.
I did. Go. Remember, we're all unique in our own ways, right? We all look different, and so our works of art are also going to be different. Right? I'm sure we can appreciate the beauty in each and every one
Right now.
that we're drawing. All right. So let's continue. Move over to left boot again and bring out that contrast. Be bold, be brave. Here we go. There's some stitching in the tongue of the shoe. And there's another flap right here. And then I'm going to shade it in, shade it in. And I'm going to be mindful this time of the darker tones in between the shoelaces. Wow. Look at that puzzle. Do you see that puzzle right there? Look at all those shapes. There's a triangle here. Another little triangle there.
Done.
What shape that is. It's a cool looking shape. I'm going to darken that up. Here we go. And be brave, be bold, have fun.
Bye-bye. Go. Cry on. Welcome.
There we go. Darker tones. I need to make sure that I make this side of the boot darker. Some of those, the scale seems to reflect the tones on the left-hand side. We'll get to it. There's this really cool looking shoelace right here. It's slightly above the others. See that? How that sticks up? So I want to make sure I capture that to the best of my ability. It's getting there. It's not quite there. It's okay. I'll come back to it. Here we go. So you can see that the shadow of the tree is a lot darker. Right. I want to make sure I capture that. And then I have those little openings on the front of the boot.
Good boy. Polly.
Some backgrounds that
Okay. Come down.
It's Alex.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Look at that. We're halfway into our drawing. Time just flew by. It flies when you're having fun. Here we go. Let's add the darker tones now on the side of the boot. And now I can do my best to leave those stitches blank. So I'll go around them. Because they're actually lighter than the rest. The leather on the boot. Let's see how that works. Oh, it's tricky. But I think we can do it. Maybe if... There we go. Okay, so what I did is I'm just going around.
Jasmine.
Yes.
Jasmine.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. It seems like my individual, they're a bit tired. Is it possible they can show their work and I can exit?
Yes. Let's see. So we're at the halfway point. It's almost 2 o'clock, and that's when you have to.
We did a lot today with them, and I think 1 hour drawing for my individual is
yes.
good enough. Richard, may I see your drawing?
Okay, let me bring up the participants.
Let me see a little bit more on this side.
Okay, hold on. Let me exit.
Richard, where's your drawing? Oh, thank you so much. Where's your drawing, Richard? No, move it a little bit to the right. More. I can't see it. Alex, where's your drawing? Alex. Let me see, lift it like this, 2 hands. Good job. How about you, Richard? You have to move it a little bit on the side. Okay, Richard, Alex, you can exit.
Yeah.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Yasmin, so much. We'll see you on Thursday, Zumba.
Philip,
Thank you.
do you want to do it, continue, or you want to go? Philip,
Leave it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alex, you can leave. Alex.
show it. Philip, show it.
Richard, you left? Okay.
Oh, okay. Good.
Whoops. What happened?
Jasmine, we'll see you on Thursday now. Okay, Jasmine? Jasmine?
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, here we are.
There seems to be an echo. Hold on, let me put it again. All right. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. Are we okay with that? 5-minute break, drink some water, come back. Let me unmute us. See our progress. Hi, Rick. I see Rick, Michelle, Patsy. Unmute all of us. How are we doing? Exit.
So, I know how to do Zumba, but and I like Zumba better anyway. That's one thing.
No.
Artist. All right, now it's like 100%, but she's perfect at that. By artists. As artists, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pero ¿sabe qué? Le hace falta un poquito más allá abajito. Ahí, ahí, eso, ahí. Ahí y por ahí, debajo de la mesa. Vea, debajo de la mesa.
We're going to continue shortly. Let me turn down the sound. Mic check. Can you all hear me? reason, I don't see our faces anymore. But that's okay. We add the image again of the boots. Open it up. Put it in there. And erase this. I don't know where that came from, but we're going to continue. Oh, I erased the image. Let's add it back in. Image. Oops. Open. There we go. All right. How was everybody's break? Hope you had a good break. Good. All right, let's get to it. So now we're going to continue with the shading at the bottom of the boot. You'll notice that there are highlights within the shading. For example, right around here, there seem to be two round wrinkles like this. And a wrinkle right around here. And then I'm going to, I'll wait on shading that in. Sorry, I got excited. So now we'll add some of the shading right around here. And then the outline. Let me make sure that we can still hear the music. There it is. All right, so I'm adding the shading to the front of the boot. And filling this in lightly with my pencil. Again, there's a highlight right around the bottom. So we'll pull that out later on with the eraser. Now we can use our
Bible study
paper towel
on
or
Thursday. Zumba.
tissue. And oh, it seems like a lot of the lines went away, but that's okay. Add them in after. I'm going to go around the eyelets with my Q-tip. Here we go. Go around the eyelets. And then I'm going to add some shading here. Okay, so for the last hour that we have together, or 40 minutes that we have together, we will simply work on the shading and the tones. Oh, and my cat decided to visit. There he goes. Let's leave him. Okay, so now it's about working with the contrast. What needs to get darkened? What needs to be made lighter? Excuse me. Now the special guest appearances by my pets. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm making this area darker. I'm going to eventually bring out the highlight that we have down here. Bring out the stitching. So what I'm doing is I'm making rectangles around. Let's see if that works. A lot of experimenting when we're drawing. Here we go. And then darkening the surrounding area. Being careful with my eyelets. Bring those out again. They seem to have disappeared when I blended the pencil. There we go. So at this point, like I said, we're bringing out the darker tones in the boot. Later on, I'm going to blend that in again. And I want to be careful. I seem to have lead on my hand. What can help is if I use a different piece of paper, or I seem to have this, I'm going to carefully put my hand over it this way so I don't blend what I've already created. There we go. Much better. Oh, and there's a flap on the tongue. Folds. Oh, that's better. There we go. So as I'm bringing the contrast up, I will be able to hopefully see the shoelaces better. There we go. And there's a wrinkle on the shoe right here. And I'm going back in there and shading in the boot. There we go. Shading in the boot. Now with my eraser, wait, I can shade it in a little bit more, actually. Maybe I can switch over to my tissue paper. And add more of that texture on the bottom of the shoe, bottom of the boot. That A went away. Bring it back. There it is. It's a lot of experimenting, a lot of playing with the lead, trying to figure out how much pressure to add. It's a lot of problem solving that takes place when we draw. There we go. And then I want to come back to this boot again and add some of that darker shading. It's really rich and dark right here. And gotta make sure that I get those folds on the boot. Sorry. Close the door. All right. And again, the bottom of the shoelace seems to be quite dark. I'm going to bring that out. 1, 2, 3. And then get a fold in the front of the boot. And the lines in front of the boot. Can't forget those. And oh, there's the grooves at the bottom of the boot. All right, it's coming along. We have around 30 minutes left of class. And I'm going in with my Q-tip. This guy over. And I'm using some of the lead that's on my Q-tip to add some texture. Let me bring down the lighting. There we go. It was really bright earlier. So I'm going to add some of the texture on the inside of the boot by just dabbing the lead here. And then there seems to be a line. Also going back. Back with my pencil and defining those darker tones. Just like that. See how that really makes it pop? There we go. Okay, so we have the main idea of the boots. At this point, I want to add the shadows underneath the boots. So the lighting is coming from the top. Let's have our cat move to the window there. Okay. And excuse me, Kitty. Move your tail this way. Thank you. All right. So we're going to add some of the shading for the shadows. See, these boots seem to be floating. Again, I created this image yesterday. I created this image yesterday. And I used a platform called Canva, but it didn't allow me to add the shadows in there. That's really what we need. I'm using my Q-tip to add the shadows. Doesn't that make a difference? Look at that. And then I will also add the shadow that's coming along the bottom of the foot. Okay, and I'm going to add some of that texture on the drapes. Using my napkin, I'm going to grab some of the graphite that I have on the boot, and I'll use my napkin to add the shadows. I have to make this a little darker, so I'm going back with my pencil. There it goes. Oh, All right. Back pencil. Darken this up a little. So now I'm playing with it. I just realized that what you see is slightly different than what I see. The contrast is higher on the video. So I'm going to soften those lines a bit. Actually. And this. There we go. That's just a lot of fun. Sometimes the graphite or the pencil breaks and you find random marks on your paper. That's okay. You can just go for it. Shape it. Okay, so at this point, it is 2:27. Go back in and darken the lines that need to be darker. And bring out the highlights. So let me darken the lines that need to be darker first. This line. Oops. Let's see. Okay, and then right around here. And now I'm going to bring out this section of the boot. See how there are highlights there? I'm going to use my eraser and simply erase the line. I can bring it up again. If you have a thinner eraser, it might work better, but we work with what we have. And then I'll go back in there shortly and darken the area a little more. So right on top of this highlight, it's very dark. It's a matter of playing with it. Adding some wrinkles. So it's really dark there. Notice how that really makes a difference. I'm darkening the bottom of the boot. Bring out the highlights up here. Oh, there's a beautiful highlight right around here. Let's see if I can bring that up. And there's another beautiful highlight right here. Let's see if I can bring that one out. There we go. It's coming along. Let's see the back of the boot. There's a lot of detail with this project. You see another highlight right below this wrinkle. So let's see if I can bring that out. If you have a kneaded eraser, the kneaded eraser will bring that out gently. If not, then your white eraser will do, and you can blend it. With your Q-tip. So it seems like the eyelets that I had seem to have disappeared. So I'm going to go back in there and put them in. There they are. They're back. Yay! They left when we were blending everything. Let me see how these eyelets are. Those are okay. Some darker tones there. Wow, look at what we can do in close to 2 hours. We have another 10 minutes left before we share how this process was for you. I want to think about that. And I'll see if I can get us on video. I had trouble doing that earlier. Let me bring out the highlights. Right around here. Bring up the highlights. Highlight. See, my camera really picks up everything, even the trash that I leave behind with the erasers. There's a shade up here that I just noticed. I'm going to go back with my Q-tip and just go down carefully, not too hard, because the Q-tip also has this stick, and sometimes it leaves behind a mark. I just want to be careful. Bring that out. I feel like this is too thick. I'm going to go back with my eraser. There it goes. So another thing I noticed that I can work on even further is the value scale. Here it's very light, so I can bring that out a little bit more. And then it transitions to the nice darker tones up here. I don't know if you noticed that. It's always good to look at areas where we can grow in or improve. If we had a 3-hour class, but this is a 2-hour class. So at this point, you can look at your image overall and just think about what else can you make better? What do you need to bring out? What do you need to take away? Where do you need some highlights? Those are the determining factors that will help bring your drawing to life. Where does it need more character? Maybe I can go back in and make these a little darker. Seem to be on the grayer end of the value scale. Bring those. Oh yeah, that helped. And over here, I'll do the same. Ah, there it is. And then you have to make sure to bring back those eyelids so they disappear. One, two, three. Oh. And then the stitching. Bring back the stitching. It disappears. And we're blending. And bring it back. Make things a little more dramatic too. Oops. There it goes. Bring back this stitching here. Okay, so the closer you hold your pencil to the bottom of the pencil, the more control you'll have. I think I've shared that with other classes, but I know we have new students. So I want to be very careful when I'm making those dashes. There it goes. And here I have kind of like a rectangle almost. And then I'll blend it out some more. Really, you can spend 10 10 hours on these boots. And make it even closer to the real thing. It's up to you. How long you want to spend. And when you feel like you're done. There they are. Yeah, I love antique items, and I like old boots. This is really a good subject. So you think about the people who wore the shoes and these boots and where they traveled to. How did they get them so worn out? Right? Okay, so we have around 10 more minutes. At this point, we will share, perhaps, if you want to share how far along you've come with your image. Notice this could have been, I could add more highlights there. I'll do that after. Add more highlights here, but I'm happy with the result for now. So let's give ourselves a round of applause, everybody. Yay! Good job. Unmute us. Unmute. Hold us a quick minute. Unmute. And then let's see if I can share our screen. Like I said, I was having trouble earlier. And we close that, exit this out.
No. I can't hear. No, I can't.
No, we cannot hear you.
No.
I see you.